a little bit about ProData and Comelit, the integration that we have together, and these two technologies that we think are absolutely fantastic. Again, my name is Jeff Perry. I'm the president and COO of ProData.
I'm Dallin Labrum. I'm the director of sales for ProData.
And we'll go ahead and just jump into this. And I want to talk a little bit about us and who we are. And I'll let Dallin share a little bit about that.
Yeah. First, we'd like to introduce you to the company. Again, thanks for being with us. Here's a little bit about ProData. ProData was founded in 2011, and if anybody knows how hard it is to break into any sort of manufacturing market, you can understand that you have to have two things. One, you have to have a very knowledgeable and driven leadership, and number two, you have to have a phenomenal product and direction. We were looking, when ProData was started, we were looking to make something better. We saw all the legacy access control systems out there and how cumbersome they are, how difficult they were to manage, and how costly they were to manage. And so ProData was meant and is meant to be a solution to that. And another phenomenal thing about ProData is we are growing fast. We're growing fast because of those two things we told you about, the phenomenal leadership we have and team that we have, as well as the product offering that we have available. ProData for 4 years in a row has been one of Utah's fastest growing companies. As a matter of fact, one of the top 100. And we are backed by a $4.5 billion organization. So we're not going anywhere. One of the things that gives us a competitive advantage at ProData is our ability to assess the market. Our whole product offering was built from scratch as a cloud-based solution to access control. We didn't take an on-prem system and jerry-rig it to be able to work as a cloud-based system or be able to label it as a cloud-based system. It was meant to be, from inception, a cloud-based access control system. We use the most innovative technology as a mobile-first platform, and you have total flexibility with our product offering, whether it be power over Ethernet, network, or wireless, or you can use all three together. Any way you want to do it, you have total flexibility with ProData.
So as Dallin talked about, this competitive advantage really allows you to approach a job the way that makes the most sense for the application, versus in the past, it was all about that application really dictating the type of product. So I had to have 2 or 3 different products in my quiver. So when ProData really came to market, it was all about building this smarter workplace, right? There was always this dichotomy, this separation from when I was at my home and experienced all of this automation, and really the commercial environment ran about 5 to 10 years behind, depending on the type of technology. But certainly even security technology was that way up until recently. And so we set out to really bridge that gap between what I experience at my home when not only I install, but utilize some of my Nest devices and other devices, but also when I get to my office and I experience all of the automation at home, I now have a bridged gap there between those two things. So when we look at this smarter workplace, it's really about closing that gap between what I experience in my residential environment and now what I'm experiencing in the commercial environment. So it really is, for ProData, 100% mobile control at every level. And so now we've released our Touch IO app, which is new at the beginning of this year. PDK IO has been around for several years, and it's delivered 100% mobile functionality at every single level.
So whether you're an integrator and technician, that's one of the phenomenal things about ProData, is you are able to go onto a job and install every single controller, program every single reader through either a tablet, a smartphone, or a computer. It is truly an app-first mobile access control option. And then also all the way to the middle ground when we're talking about admins and managers, your customers, and then all the way down to employees and tenants, we have the Touch app. We have mobile-first applications for every single one of those installments.
So let's quickly touch base on each one of these. The first one we want to show is mobile control from an integrator and technician perspective. Again, 100% configuration for an integrator as you're doing the installation. You can grant access to customers to manage their site directly from the PDK.io app. So as soon as I get done with my installation, I put their email address in, and now the administrator has full access. You can also manage all of your customers from a single site. This is a global management interface, again, directly from your phone, your tablet, or a computer, whatever is most convenient. So now what I want to do is I want to show a quick video on configuring a door. So if you look at the PDK.io mobile app, as I launch it, I can scroll down to the configuration section. Click on configuration. It now lets me go to discover. Click on this big plus or the discover button at the bottom, and then you'll notice that it'll auto discover the doors. I click on add port, and now I put in the door name, and then I can put in the port number on that particular door controller. This happens to be an 8-door controller. I'm going to configure it on port 3, and now it's added a door on port number 3. Now I can come back to the main device section, and again, I'm on my mobile device, and I find that door that I just added to the system. I click on that door, and now it lets me add the Bluetooth reader, do any other configuration to that door that's necessary, door position, request to exit, my dwell time, delay time, etc. So you can see how fast it is directly from a mobile device to be able to add, change, and delete. The next thing I want to talk about is this experience from an admin and a manager perspective. So if you look at a manager managing their system after you grant them access, they're able to generate reports, real-time reviews, add, change, delete. Again, 100% management directly from the mobile device. So they can do global lockdowns, door control, and mobile credential adds as well directly from there. So now you don't have to go to a third-party server to add mobile credentials or Bluetooth credentials. So I want to show you a quick video on adding credentials directly from the PDK.io mobile app. So you'll notice as I launch PDK.io again, oh, this is the wrong video. That's all right. This is a great video though. Yeah, if you've got it, go ahead and play it. There we go. So let's launch. Do you have that video? If we don't, that's okay. All right, we're going to see if we've got that video real quick. If we don't, then we'll just jump. Okay. All right, so I'll talk just a little bit about it. Again, from a mobile first perspective, as I launch PDK.io, I go into the People's tab, and you got this big plus button on every tab. So now I click plus, I put in the individual's first and last name. Once I've got the first and last name in there, I click on add. It'll automatically create that individual's profile. Once the individual's profile populates, I can add their photo directly from here. So I click on add photo. It lets me take a picture of the individual. Once I take their picture, now it automatically takes me into the cropping section and allows me to change the crop or area. Once I do that, I can click on save, and it automatically loads that photo directly to their profile in the cloud, and it's instantly available for any other admin that may be jumping into the platform. So again, this is 100% real time. Now I'm adding information here so that I have the opportunity, an email address, so that I have the opportunity to add a mobile credential. I'll go into credentials, click on mobile credentials, click on Bluetooth and the new Touch.io app, and hit save, and now it instantly has sent an email to that user. I pop open their they'll open their email, go to the Apple or Google Play Store, load the app. Once they load the app, then they'll go back to the email and click on activate credential, and it'll automatically activate their credential. At that point, it's given them access to doors they have access to during times they have access to them, whether that's through a Bluetooth credential or also you have the option to give them access to the Touch mobile app. Now let's look at it from an employee and tenant perspective. You already saw how easy it was for an employee or tenant to accept a Bluetooth credential, but now we want to look at, again, our new Touch mobile app, which is very unique in giving greater flexibility to an employee tenant from a 100% mobile first perspective. So let's look at the Touch app. We've got a little promo video. So you can see the new Touch.io mobile app is one of the most significant advancements that we've had in our technology this year. We're super excited about it. There's a lot of integration that's built into it, and we're going to show you a little bit about that. Do you have anything to add there?
Yeah, definitely. One of the things I love about the mobile app is it gives every system that our partners install the opportunity to offer a mobile solution to their end users. Not just at a Bluetooth solution, but a full mobile solution, even if they choose to go with standard prox readers.
Absolutely. Let's show you a little bit about using the Touch mobile app and what that looks like from an end user's perspective. So you'll notice that you can launch the Touch.io app. You have a favorite section on the right-hand side where you can favorite doors, which we'll do here in just a minute. If you push and hold on a door, this is 100% real time. As soon as you see that icon change, we've received an acknowledgement back from the controller that that door is physically opened. So again, the end user, employee, and tenant have a real-time functionality as well. If you launch the app at the very beginning and you've got doors favorited, it will always take you to this favorite door screen. But again, the Touch mobile app is the home for your Bluetooth mobile credentials, but it's also home for being able to open doors directly from that interface. And an employee and tenant can be given access to either or both of those particular functionalities. So let's look at the Touch.io reader, and again, the Touch.io app holds that mobile credential. Let's look at the reader and what that looks like.
Having a secure office doesn't have to be inconvenient. Touch by ProData Key is the easiest and most secure Bluetooth access system. Your phone accesses your credentials without having to leave your pocket. Other systems are less secure because the readers can't distinguish between credentials inside or outside the office. But with Touch's inside-out technology, a phone inside can't accidentally be used to let someone in. Installation is very simple, since it uses Bluetooth and mobile app for enrollment. And integration to existing access control is seamless, since Touch works with RFID technology. Touch also comes with an easy-to-use app that allows users to grant access remotely. But the best feature of the app is that it has made adding new users easy. Simply issue mobile credentials directly from PDK.io. Touch by ProData Key. Finally, a Bluetooth reader with real intent.
So you can see there are a couple of very unique pieces of functionality to the Bluetooth reader as you watch this little video. One of those is the inside-out technology. So while I'm on the secure side of the door, we've got a little antenna that faces backwards that doesn't allow, what do you call them, UAGs?
Yeah, unintentional access granters. With most other Bluetooth solutions, as you walk down the hallway, you're just unintentionally granting access to every door that you pass within 30 to 35 feet. That's a definite risk that defeats the point of access control and security overall.
So that's why we call it Bluetooth with real intent. We know what the intent is of entering the door. We also know what the intent is by being on the secure side of the door, and it helps eliminate that. You can issue unlimited mobile credentials directly from PDK.io as you saw, so you're not going to a third-party server. You're doing this 100% mobile first. So there are a few very unique features. One of the latest features that we've just added to PDK.io is what we call touch-free capabilities. So when we look at being in a pandemic or where germs and those types of things are an issue, or maybe you might be in a food processing plant or a place that you have gloves on and it's not appropriate to touch a reader, we give you full functionality to be about 2 to 3 inches away from the reader and just wave your hand in front of it, and that's where you're signaling intent. So you still have the intent, you still have the security of inside-out technology, and have the ability to enter that door. So let's show you a quick promo video on our touch-free functionality that's just been added to the Bluetooth reader. So as you saw, there's really distinct advantages to the Bluetooth mobile reader, both utilizing the touch or the touch-free functionality, as well as additional functionality that we've added with that touch-free, or utilizing the Touch.io mobile app to open doors. So let's show you a little bit about, if I can get this to work here. There we go. The cloud topography, just a little bit of an overview of our hardware. You notice that you've got 2 cloud interfaces. One of those is what we call the cloud node, which is mounted to the wall, has a door controller built into it. So if you're doing a one-door solution, the cloud node is the best functionality for that. We also have the cloud node SE that sits right below that. That can be rack mounted. So if you get into an application where it's very IT friendly and they want it mounted in the rack, you've got full functionality there. Now the cloud node itself has, again, a door controller built into it, has network and wireless functionality for your door controllers, as well as PoE. If you use the Cloud Node SE, it has network and PoE functionality, and you can add wireless functionality to that. And then you see our lineup of controllers. So the EIO Plus that has a power supply built into it, the 8IO that you would adopt a power supply to that controller, our single IO that can be in Ethernet, PoE, or wireless, our gate controller that can also be in those same flavors, Ethernet, PoE, or wireless, and then our pedestal IO that can be mounted out at a gate, which is Ethernet or wireless. So great functionality there. What's most important to us is these integrations, or seamless integrations, that we have with fantastic partners. And the partner that we have on with us today is Comelit. We're very, very excited to have them on with us. And we want to show you a quick promo video that we put together with Comelit and what this seamless integration looks like. So you'll notice that you come up to the Comelit panel. We've also got a touch reader mounted next to it. This is provided by Pedestal.io, another one of our partners. You can see that once somebody's activated or called a tenant or an employee, they can trigger that directly from their phone. And currently you'll do that from the Comelit mobile app. And we're working on a great integration into the Touch mobile app as well. But there's a unified database that happens between the two platforms, and we're really excited about that. So as we introduce this integration into Comelit, we want to now give Comelit some time to talk about the integration, talk about their products, and what's so valuable about this integration between the two platforms there. It looks like we're just working to get them set up and linked in here real quick. But what we found, let me just talk while we get this set up. that a good integration partner is something that's been very valuable to us. Everything from video surveillance to the integration that we have with Comelit. And maybe, Dallin, you can talk a little bit about what these integrations mean to an entire system.
Sure. At PDK, one of our biggest essences, I would say, is our partner fanaticism, or our relationship and how we strive to support our partners. And having an integration like this with Comelit adds a tremendous tool to the belt of our integration partners and our dealers and people that install Pro Data Key. And having worked over the last 6 or so months with Comelit, I can tell you that they care just as much about their partners as we do. And it's an honor to be able to work with a company like that not only has such a phenomenal solution for a comm entrance option, but also an integration that works so seamlessly. And as we move forward, right now we have that seamless integration of our database sync, and then moving forward we'll also have the ability for the person who is inside of the dwelling to be able to view the one-sided video of who is requesting access and be able to grant them access directly from that video feed.
Exactly. I'm just going to turn this a little bit so we can see. All right. We're able to get Comelit on.
I'm not sure what happened to Marlene. Karen's on the line, but I don't know if that's in her wheelhouse. So, Karen, is Marlene with you?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm Marlene. It's under Karen's account, but it looks like the audio isn't going through on their end.
You're coming. So Jeff, and we'll try one more time, Marlene.
Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
So it appears that the floor is yours right now, Marlene.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. For some of you guys, good afternoon. Over here, it's only 9:30. So I can no longer see Dallin and Jeff, but everyone can see me, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't have a bunch of slides. I have a couple slides and a couple videos, so I promise I won't bore you guys too much with my talk. So really, Comelit is a intercom manufacturer. It was founded in 1956, and
You just turn on.
There's a echo again. Okay. So we have, there we go. Okay.
We're getting bad feedback again. Take the controls back. For those on the call, we're going to send out this information to both Comelit and PDK, and I'll have Marlene send information to everybody, and I hope that will work on behalf of you, Marlene, and Comelit in totality.
Yeah, that works. Okay, I think I fixed the feedback issue.
Perfect, go for it.
Okay, so we have 18 branches worldwide. The one right here in the US is in Los Angeles, California. So with that being said, all of our tech support, our sales, anything that goes to you guys that's getting shipped out to an ADI is coming from our warehouse here. We do have independent outside sales reps in New York as well. So we have a couple guys out there in the East Coast, but the majority of the excitement happens here in the Los Angeles office. With that being said, we're very excited for this PDK integration. We get asked a lot for access control solutions or any solutions that tie in with our system. And as we do have integration partners, as Dallin said, this integration is really seamless and true. And we're really excited for it because it's finally a full integration that we can really speak to. So with that, we do have two different lines. So we have a 2 wires line for such things as retrofits, but we also have an IP line. We're going to focus on the IP line because that's the only line that works with PDK. So anything like a kit or any 2 wire system, it's not going to work with the integration. So we're only going to focus on the IP side of things and those features. Will, do you have that slide you can put up with the little bullet points of the VIP system? There we go. Okay. So our VIP system is really unlimited. There's no limit to it. Our biggest project to date is actually Stuytown out in New York with over 300 door stations and 11,000 monitors. So it's completely expandable, and people always ask, where does it cap out? What's your max? We really don't have one. So our VIP system can really keep going. It's truly unlimited. Everything is remotely configured. So if you want to go in, install everything and do all the programming from your home, your Starbucks, your anywhere that you're at, you can do that as well. Or if you need to make a change on the system, you don't have to go back on the job site to make a change. You can go ahead and do a change from your home or anywhere as long as you have access to log in. It's also multi-site. So you don't have to have multiple, accounts to actually go ahead and see your different buildings. Everything will be under one interface. So you don't have to go into multiple tabs and check all of your buildings that way. Everything will be under that one system, and you could just go ahead and view all your multiple buildings. Integration, just the reason why we're here, we have different integration partners, and the integration also varies from elevator controls to apps to video stations to third-party integrations companies, and our integration is just expanding. So anything from elevator controls, CCTV cameras, IP cameras, inside monitor or apps, we can do it all. Our smartphone app. So this is the app that everyone's really excited about. And I mean, it's 2020, so everyone wants that technology. They don't want an inside monitor. Everybody wants to be able to see it on their phone now. So with the smartphone app, it does require a license, but you get up to 15 apps per apartment, and we have multiple licenses as well. So I'll get into that a little bit later. Apartment stations. So we have various different apartment stations, from touchscreen apartment stations to audio only apartment stations, and a telephone call. So even though it is 2020, some people don't have a smartphone, or they don't want that mobile app notification, or they simply just want a phone call and they don't want to see who's at the door. So we do have the option as well to just do a telephone only call and strictly keep it audio only. We also have a concierge option where you can actually go ahead. We have 2 different concierge options. So we have an actual physical switchboard that you can go ahead, give to a receptionist or anyone at the front desk, or we have the PC software. So it is a software, you go ahead and it's like a little dongle, so it does go plugged into your PC. The software downloads, and from there you can actually see who's at the door, and as long as you have a mic, you will get that 2-way audio video communication with them. So we do have multiple options for concierge as well. Thanks, Will. So with that being said, our system is really wide in the range of things it can do, and that's why we've chose the VIP system to partner with PDK. So getting into some of our entrance panels, we do have high-end, really fully scalable, customizable panels, as Am I good? Are we back? Okay, awesome. So again, getting into the entrance panel. So we do have fully scalable, huge 5,000 plus tenants, or we have something as small as just a single one push button. You just need it to go straight to the receptionist or straight to security, anything like that. So our most popular panel to date, and I want to say we're most recognized for this panel, is going to be our 316 panel. So it is IP54 rated, IK08. I have some of them in Miami. There's some in New York, some in Chicago. So it has a built-in heater. If things get too cold out there, it'll warm itself down. If it gets too hot out there, it'll cool itself off. So it's really unique in the way that I like that all of us have one everywhere. There's some in California as well. So we really like this panel, and we actually do have a short video on it. Will, do you mind playing that, please?
This is an overview and demonstration of the 316 touch entry panel. This is our most popular entry panel, which is available on our 2-wire or IP-based system. The panel is made from 316L steel. This is where it gets its name from. It is also IK08 rated, which means it can withstand rough environments and vandalism. The screen is customizable. You can change text on the screen to either show instructions or have a screensaver if you would like. The 316 can also have up to 14 different languages on the screen. Here, in this example, I will show you how to look up someone using the digital scrolling directory. In this directory, we have people labeled with first and last names. By using the on-screen keyboard, you can search for first or last names and find exactly who you are looking for. Apartment numbers and names never have to be associated. You can also have a PIN code per apartment to allow tenants to gain access to the building if they ever forgot their keys. This feature can also be turned off. You also have the option to list all the tenants as push buttons. For commercial spaces, you can add logos of businesses next to their names. You can also add special push buttons to the screen to call the concierge directly while having a keypad display to directly dial apartment numbers. You can install existing access control readers into the 316 Touch by adding the reader housing module. There are also many styles of pedestals designed for the 316. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up.
All right, so that's one of our most popular panels, and as you can see, we have different pedestals for it. We also now work with Pedestal Pro thanks to PDK, and that was the same one that you saw behind them with the little Bluetooth reader right next to it as well. So we actually created that pedestal specifically for this integration. But even with that panel, I get situations where it's happened to me in Miami where one person wants to put that outside of their gate, and why not? If you want to go ahead and put that panel and just have your name on there, you can do that as well. but it will go up to 5,000 tenants. So it's perfect for high-rise buildings, and that system can be app-based only. So the only hardware you need is that panel, and everything else would just be programming. So from there, it's really just an app-only system, or if you want to have inside monitors and apps as well, you can fully customize that panel. Again, that screensaver in the front can change between 2 images. If you want to put a picture of your dog, a picture of the building, a picture of your face, it's fully customizable, and you can actually go ahead and do that as well. People get asked often if they need to have their name on it for security reasons, privacy reasons. You don't have to. You can go ahead and put a unit name, or if you prefer your name, and it never has to be associated with any apartment number as well. So for security purposes, it's totally up to you or the integrator or property manager, whichever option they want to go with. Besides that panel, we do have single one push button kits for small commercial buildings, single residential homes. We also have a smart doorbell, kind of like the Ring. But with all of those, with the app option, as I mentioned earlier, you do need to have that license. So here's usually where the most questions come in. I see we have a Q&A spot there. So if you guys have any questions, we'll answer them at the end. So please feel free to type it in. Okay, 3 different licenses. So the first one we have is a telephone only license. So as I mentioned earlier, I gave you guys that point in the VIP features we have. We have a telephone call only option. So this is perfect for placeholders. We like to have placeholders where you actually install a panel. If you want to do something like the 316 or a digital directory with the camera and a speaker, you can do that. Then from there, if you want to choose to just do an audio only license, a couple years from now, maybe 2, 3, even end of the year, you can go ahead and you can actually upgrade those licenses to audio video licenses. But if for now, you know, the building's on a budget, they just need something quickly, you can go ahead and do that audio only license. It is a one-time fee. The only thing with that audio only license is it does require a SIP service. So we work closely with a partner called Mobex, but if you have your own SIP provider, go ahead and use them. Feel free to use them. I have pricing on that as well if you guys want a little bit more detail about pricing. It doesn't change between the tenants. It'll keep the same number. So 0 to 10 tenants will remain the same whether you have 1 tenant or 10 tenants. It'll be the same price point for it. I believe it caps out as 200. So even if you have 200 to 1,000 tenants, the price is still going to remain the same. So with that telephone only license, it is audio only. It'll work as a regular teleentry system. You get the phone call, hey, it's Sally, open your door. Okay, press 9, and that's it. So that's a telephone only. The subscription annual renewal license we have is exactly what it says. So it is an annual renewal that must be paid every year. So the first time it is bought through distribution, and it is it does include the app and the phone call. And from there, you actually do get a combination of 15 apps or phone numbers. So if you live in a unit, I hope you don't live with 15 people, but if you do, all those people will be on that same license. So keep in mind, everyone's going to ring at once, but within that, you'll get up to 15 numbers or devices. So if you want to put the app on your smartphone, your telephone, your laptop, anywhere you can download the app, you can do that. And it's not going to charge you per person or per device. It's actually just per unit. So 15 devices, 1 unit. Annual subscription is a lot less expensive upfront, to be completely honest. Within 3 years, you'll break even as if you would have paid a one-time fee. So people do freak out when they see the price for that one-time. Am I back? There we go. And there we go. It freezes on the most awkward faces too. Sorry, guys. Okay. Okay, thanks. All right, so as I was saying, that one-time license, a lot of people do normally freak out because it looks a lot more expensive than that subscription up front, but really it's a one-time fee that's paid once and never again. And people freak out because it looks like a large chunk of money up front, but really you're paying that one time and you're never paying it again. The other day we were talking about subscription licenses, and the way it's set up, it's technically like you're renting the license, and it really does make sense. You're paying it every year, you're pretty much renting it, and you're never going to own it, you're just renting it. So depending what size of the building you have, I would recommend either one time for maybe 50 or less units to something that's a lot bigger. The reason why we came up with this model is there's a lot of new construction happening right now where you have an empty building and you can't afford $15,000 in licenses because there's no one living there. So you would rather pay $5,000 for licenses. Once you get people in the building, they'll maintain it and they'll continue to pay that fee for the licenses from there. This is great for that reoccurring revenue for dealers. We love that reoccurring revenue, so we like to emphasize, set up a maintenance contract with them, keep visiting the building, let them know. If you want to charge your own fee monthly, that's great. We're only asking you to pay it yearly. So if you want to, slowly gather up the money from them every month so the end of the year comes and you're ready for that renewal, you can do that. So they're both great options. Both of them have the same features. You have 15 apps or phone numbers. We'll pay that. We'll go ahead again for that SIP service. You do have to take care of that on your end, but we work closely with the provider. If you want to work with our Mobex provider, you can do that as well. Or if you have your own trusted SIP service brand, you can use them as well. But that's really the only difference between those two licenses is that reoccurring fee and that one-time one and done fee. Anything like a kit, everything's included in that kit. So you don't have a reoccurring fee for the app in that kit either. Everything's just included in that one-time kit. And our app is going to transition, well, the integration is actually going to transition into the PDK app. But as of now, we are still using the Comelit app. And I just want to give you guys some quick features of the app before we show the video. It is actually, thanks, Joe. He said I'm doing great. So our app actually, some of the cool features on it includes self-ignition. So you hear a noise outside and you don't want to get up, or you're scared to get up, you don't know who's outside. On the app, you can hit self-ignition, your camera turns on, and you can see who's out there. We have recording. If you have someone threatening you at your door, or there's some suspicious activity and you want to record it, you can go ahead and record it. It'll save the recording to the app as well. You have the option to add different relays. If you want your front door, your side door open as well, you can do that as well. On the app, it has those two actuator buttons, so you can release both doors. It doesn't just have to be that one front door. So our app is really unique, and you can actually allow multiple doors on it as well. So on my app, I have the office, I have the front door, the back door. So you can have multiple doors on it. It doesn't have to just be to that one building. And you could slide through it, and it gives you different profiles on it as well, so you can see. And we do have a short video that talks a lot about how to sign up for the app as well. Can you play that, Will?
This is a tutorial on how to set up the Comelit app on your smartphone. You may have received an email welcoming you to the Comelit system. The following procedures are the same for Apple or for Android devices. The first step is to head over to the App Store and download the Comelit app. After the download is complete, we are ready to begin. Click on the Comelit app and you will see two options: set up a new account or sign in. If you are an existing user, please sign in using your email address and password you created. If you forgot your password, you can select Forgot Password. For new users, press Create New Account at the top in green. Type in your first and last name and email address and create a password. Please use the email address your building has on file for you. You will get an email confirmation to verify it's your email. Open the email and press the link to confirm, then come back to the app. Be sure to check your spam email if you don't see it. In the Comelit app, type in your email address and password you created. There are some permissions you have to allow to enable the app to function. Please check off these tabs and allow any pop-ups that may appear on your phone. On this screen, select Door Entry. Once you press this, you will notice a few steps will automatically happen for you. Select an available slot to register your phone to. You can have up to 15 apps per apartment. Your building administrator can enable more apps for other devices such as iPads if needed. Your phone will register to that specific slot and take you automatically to the end. Press End. Now you will be able to see any entry panels your building granted you access to see. By pressing the entry panel, it will bring up the live video from the front door. You can press the phone button to start talking with two-way audio and press the key button to open the door. When someone calls you now from the entry panel, it will notify your phone so you can answer and talk to your guests with audio and video communication, and you will be able to release the door from wherever you are. If you ever change phones, it's simple to set up again. All you have to do is sign into the app and choose Door Entry Systems. This will allow you to replace your old phone with the new phone. It effectively removes and replaces your phone in the system. Thank you for using the Comelit app. Give the video a thumbs up if you found it helpful.
Well, thank you all for your time today. This has been wonderful. We want to get into a little Q&A. Before we do that, I wanted to again thank ADI for putting this together. It's always wonderful to do this together, and we appreciate your patience as we had some technical difficulties. We always do these live, which is exciting, but sometimes the technical difficulties can be super exciting as well. So thank you, ADI. Thank you, Michael Maston. We want to turn a couple of minutes over to Josh Gilland over at ADI, and he's going to talk just briefly about doing a project registration. And then what we want to do is get in here. There's a couple of questions that we have to answer, and if you have any additional questions while he talks about project registration, please go ahead and chat those in. Josh?
Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for having me today. This won't take more than a couple minutes, so I'll give you guys back time. But yeah, I'm the project project registration manager for ADI. My team is dedicated to registering projects with our vendors. Process is pretty simple. It varies from vendor to vendor as far as overall value of the project required. But all you need to do is let your local ADI branch know, hey, I'm working on a new project for a specific end user. It needs to be something like a specific school, a church, a business, something like that. It has to be specific. It can't just be a normal product buy. You have to be working on a specific location. Generally speaking, we're looking at $5,000 to $10,000 or more in product. You let the branch know what the bill of materials is, what the specific end user is, all the details that go along with that, and they get it to my team. We interact with the various vendors. Nearly every vendor we carry will register in some fashion. And we pass 100% of the discount along to you. So they give us the special pricing. If we qualify, we get it back into our system and we get it back to the branch and they take care of it from there. And that's pretty simple. It usually takes a day or two to get everything back, and we go from there. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Josh. We appreciate that. Project registration is something that's really important and is also a huge value to you as a dealer. So we appreciate that. Marlene, fantastic job. Thank you for giving us an overview of Comelit. We hope that you've seen the value, not just in each of the products individually, but also together as a platform. This integration is something that's really important. Like Marlene had talked about, the initial integration is a database integration between the two platforms, which is very powerful. The version 2 integration that will be released towards the end of the year will then allow you to do 100% of the functionality directly from the Touch.io app. So if you integrate a platform now, as soon as that functionality is out and available, that additional functionality will just be inherently available on the platform as you do that update, or as we push that update
of the cloud.
That's exactly right. So thank you very much. We had a couple of questions here I want to address. One of them was RFID technology on the Bluetooth reader, the touch reader, or OSDP. The answer to that is we're working on OSDP right now. That's something that's very important to us. So it's a huge focus and on the roadmap for the touch reader. Currently, it does handle RFID technology, so you can use standard credentials at it. The one unique feature between the Bluetooth reader and any other Bluetooth reader on the market is that it does not do Wiegand pass-through. So even though it does have Wiegand connectivity, when you present a Bluetooth credential to it, and again, that phone could be in your pocket, a purse, or whatever it may be, you touch the reader or use the new touch-free feature, as soon as that activates, it's passing that information through encrypted. And so PDK can tell whether it's a Bluetooth credential that's being read, whether it's a standard credential, or whether you're opening it from the Touch mobile app, if that functionality is given to an employee or tenant. So we do identify each one of those individually, though it will read a standard RFID tag, just so you're aware. Let's see what else we have. It looks like that may be it. Oh, we did get a question on another platform here that one of the questions was, will we talk a little bit more about the touch-free functionality and the distance. Again, the distance is about 2 to 3 inches. So if you approach a Bluetooth reader, wave your hand in front of it, and then that will activate the reader and open the door. Anything else to add, Alan?
No, I'm really excited about that feature, especially in these unprecedented times when we're dealing with the pandemic. Germs and communicability is really a big deal. Being able to offer a reader, that you don't have to touch is phenomenal, especially a Bluetooth reader, and then have access to all readers that work with PDK, being able to use your Touch mobile app, being able to open and unlock doors without touching them. It's a huge deal.
Absolutely.
And so we want to make sure that all of our partners are safe and all of our partners' customers are safe.
And talking about partners, I think that's what makes this work so well together. As we close here, I just want to reiterate that one of the value adds between us and Comelit is, again, this mobile-first perspective. They come from a mobile-first perspective as well. So that's what makes this partnership and this integration work so well. So again, thank you, Marlene. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Michael, and ADI. We appreciate everybody else's time for being on today. If you have any questions, reach out to us at prodatakey.com or info@prodatakey.com. You can also call us at 801-317-8802. Marlene, I don't know that I have if you want to chat, give your contact info.
Yeah, so we have the same hotlines. So we have a business if it's a sales question, sales@comelitusa.com, and everyone in the sales department gets that email as well. So if it's for a specific region, we'll let them answer it. If it's a tech question, tech@comelitusa.com. And then I did see someone posted a question. Italy is our headquarters, so everything is manufactured there and shipped over here to the US.